Okay, welcome to this tiny house tour. So I built this house in 2013, 2014, and now we're selling it. You can see this end wall features Shu Sugi Ban preservation technique where the cedar was actually charred. And then the rest of the house is cedar. It's shiplapped cedar with an half-inch airspace underneath it, and then Tyvek is underneath that against the plywood. So it's called a rain screen wall. It's really nice for drying. Basically, in any wall, water may get underneath, but if it does, if you have that airspace, then it dries out nicely. I've taken off some of the skirting to show the triple axle trailer. Just put on a couple new, or not a couple, 4 new tires. And then we'll go around here, onto some decks. These decks would be included in the sale. We've just got our tent on the deck right now for playing camp out with my 4-year-old. So here's the main entrance. You see there's a porch here. It's a 5 feet long covered area that's super nice to have as kind of an outdoor but protected from the elements space. We have a deep freeze out here, which is a nice thing to have in a tiny house. And then this wall, in the winter, you'll see it filled with wood. Usually we stack wood down there, and then in the triangle, you've got your, or not in the triangle, in the areas beside the triangle, you can put your kindling and have it all stacked nice. I've got some photos of that you may have seen. I built it so the wood pile, there's a gap underneath, so you can still store your boots under there. In the summer, there's these hooks for clothes and backpacks or whatever, what have you. These are pretty strong shelves. Like, we put big 20-gallon jugs on them and everything. So welcome inside. So here we are in the main space. You can see it's a nice kitchen. I love this kitchen. There's lots of counter space. This is a propane stove. You see underneath there's a washer. Just a regular apartment size fridge. And lots of cool little features. It's actually a really nice kitchen to cook in. Cupboards are just like so. There's a range hood, so when you're cooking you can vent vapor, and it is a propane stove, so it's good to vent any propane, or sorry, carbon monoxide gases. This is a nice seating area. So you can sit here on the couch, enjoy the fire, enjoy the view. All the windows in this house open except for that big one over there. That's just a fixed window. But everything else, high quality windows, double glazed. Here's room for some coats, and these bins will stay with the house. They kind of change uses as the season goes. You can put your hats and mitts and whatnot in the winter, and other things in the summer. This is a little desk that actually folds up and down, so if you want a bit more space in here, you can fold it down. There's space underneath the wood stove that we've actually put the kitty litter box under there at one point in time, but it's also just great storage. Also under the wood stove, there's kind of an area where you can put your logs and kindling and paper and everything. A few shelves over here, some shelves up there. We've got some cooking pots and pans up there. There's storage up there in that loft, and then back this way there's also storage up there. And here we have a view of this cool chandelier. So now we'll walk through, and oh, there's the wall-mounted heater. That's just on a thermostat there, so that works well. If you go away, it keeps the house warm, so you know, your pipes don't freeze in the winter, and you can just use it instead of stoking the wood stove, you know, if you're feeling lazy, or if you're out all day. It's nice. Like, I have it set so that when I get home from work, the house is warm. Underneath the kitchen sink in the corner back there, there's just a regular electric hot water heater. And in the past, I have had a propane on-demand hot water heater in that same space back under the counter. So here we are in the bathroom. You see there's a composting toilet and a very unique Japanese bathtub. This is called an ofuro bathtub, and it's made out of wood encased in fiberglass. So my dad builds boats, and he helped out, taught me some things to build this cool piece that's kind of it's got a little bench in there. You can use it as a shower. There's a shower curtain, you know, a nice copper rod, and it's kind of rustic, but super nice. It's kind of a pleasant experience with the window there. Yeah, this is actually an integrated light fan. So when you go to have a shower, you just put that on, and it clears the area of moisture, which is a good thing to do in a tiny house. The composting toilet, see this area, you've got your wood chips, and then the regular toilet is in there, and there's a urine diverter. So up the steps here, go up to the bedroom. It's a super nice little space to be in. This is a regular queen size bed. Normally we have bedside tables. There's a nice window here, so as you're lying in bed, you can look out the window. Closet space here. It's a smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector. So, you know, here's the closet with some drawers and some storage up above. There's the electrical, BC Safety Authority certified. Underneath the bed, you'll find these big water tanks. I believe it's 200 gallons of water that fit in them. It's enough to last one person for 2 weeks, or 2 people for about a week, and then you need to refill, and that's with not really conserving too much, you know, having showers every day and laundry and everything. So it's a good amount of water for sure. So back down, back into the main space. Kitchen. Oh, there's a ceiling fan that I forgot to mention. Helps. This wood stove, I didn't really talk about the wood stove. It's a fantastic wood stove. It's a Danish made stove. The brand is Morso, and it's great. It's got an exterior air intake, which you can see back there. Super efficient, and so it takes 12-inch logs, and it heats the place up really nicely. So some things of note: the countertops are all, it's actually a reclaimed beam from a, I think it was a print shop or something in Richmond, I think, that's been milled down to these 2-inch slabs, and it's kind of cool. The floors are Douglas fir floors. Ceiling is cedar. The walls are all Baltic birch. Cabinets are also birch. So yeah, it's a great space. So something else I didn't really talk about is the insulation in the walls. It's polyisocyanurate. Sorry, the walls, floor and roof. It's 2x4 construction in the walls, and then 2x6 in the roof and floor joists. And so this polyiso, it's boards of closed cell foam that I've put in between all the rafter bays and joist bays and stud bays, and then sealed in with spray foam. So there's 3 inches plus a 1/2 inch airspace in the walls, and in that 1/2 inch airspace runs the electrical. And there's 5 inches in the floor and ceiling. And this stuff has an R value of about 6 per inch. So they're very well insulated, much better than you get with batt insulation. And that's important. I've heard things, people have talked about condensation happening on the walls in a tiny house. I think that happens, one, if there's not proper venting, which this house has a lot of, and 2, if the insulation is not great. What happens if the wall is cold on the inside, then any vapor will condense, and that can lead to mold problems. This house in the winter, the walls are warm. It's well insulated, so something to note for sure. Great. Well, thanks for taking a tour.